Honorable Minister Sri Anant Kumar, Minister for Fertilizers, His Excellency John Roth, Consul General of Germany in Bangalore, Srimati Tejaswini Anant Kumar, Srimati Tejaswari, Sri Prakash Kothari, Sri Manish Kothari, Dr. Manohar, Trustees of ISBR, Faculty of ISBR, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to acknowledge the invitation extended by the Board of Trustees of this great institution and asking me to come and participate at this convocation. Let me thank them wholeheartedly and also wish the graduates going out of this portal all the success. A few days ago, I received a call from Mr. Manohar asking me to be present at this function, and I was not aware that I had to deliver a convocation address. While I was returning from Coimbatore yesterday in the afternoon on the flight, just after taking off, I got a call from one of my friends who was here last year delivering the convocation address. She said, are you ready to deliver a convocation address? I said, where, when, what? Then I started worrying myself what to say. And I was left with a few hours to prepare myself. Then I took courage. I said, I'm going to say something to the students of ISBR. That's where I am today. And if I am totally unprepared, kindly pardon me. And if I have said good words or say something which you all relish, thank God. Yesterday, when I heard the Finance Minister's budget, Mr. Jaitley, I was inspired. What a great budget it is. For the first time in our country, a bold step has been taken by the government to push the economy forward and to provide jobs to the young generation as promised by our Honorable Prime Minister during his election. What a bold step they have taken, and I must congratulate Mr. Anant Kumar and his cabinet colleagues for taking such a bold step. Then I thought, what should I say? Mr. Modi has been talking about innovation. This budget is an innovation, if I'm right. Then it came to my mind what Sir M.V. had said when he was alive. When he was the president of the All India Manufacturers Organization, he came out with a bold slogan at that time, industrialize or perish. Our government successively have been talking about providing incentives, providing opportunities for the young, and making India, industrial India, none to compete with others. My friends, India, no doubt, has become industrialized. At what cost and after what time? What are the steps which have been taken earlier, and what is that we have achieved? We have a diverse population. This diversity is our strength, no doubt, and it also serves as a fertile ground for innovation. Isn't that, my dear friends? India was the biggest economy before 1760. It was innovative then, but then came the force of colonization, which essentially tried to kill diversity So when we came out of 200 years of colonization, brought down our share in the world economy from 27% to 2%. In 1950, today our biggest challenge is how do we build the framework for a new democracy. If we want to give shape to our Prime Minister's thinking, Prime Minister's vision, is the only way is that we should become innovators. It is not just enough we become somewhere some kind of an invention taking place in our country. We have to get ourselves involved in all fields to which avenues are being opened for innovation. Today our biggest challenge is how do we build the framework for a new democracy. We really need to listen to the voices of the people. We have not done so in the past. That's why we have lost the focus on inclusive growth and strengthening our democracy. We have made strides in the past, but what about our future lessons? In the early 1990s, we started making a good beginning with the idea of connecting India. Along with this political will at that time, we gave required support to then person who stepped into that place, Sam Pitroda, to establish a network of communication system in our country. A well-established communication system has given room to IT software industry, which has helped Bangalore to grow to this extent. Young talent, indigenous development, and creation of our own Indian model of development, subscriber trunk dialing, public call officers, and rural telecom were developed on account of this plan. It was the best of the best technology of that time. Today, the technology has changed. We could build the entire IT industry in India with the youngest talent which we developed. If we had not planted seeds in 1980, we would not have what we call a 100 billion software industry thriving in this country, and particularly in the city of Bangalore, which is doing a major contribution towards that. We have been globally reorganized as one of the leaders in it. From 2 million telephones in 1981, we now have more than 90 million telephone connections. We are a nation of connected billion. But how do we use this connectivity? Are we going forward? That's where the big innovation is going to come from. Corporates look at innovation differently. They want to look at product improvement for the sake of productivity, efficiency, profit, global competitiveness, etc. But to develop innovation at the national level, we currently need to build platforms which are very badly required. Every bit of the debate on innovation is more on the MBA level, because you are all going to graduate. As graduates, you are going to go out of this portal and you are going to play a very, very important role in building up the platforms. MBA level from the angle of business schools, but that is not the innovation which we need today. Telecom gave us this huge boost and everybody takes it for granted and nobody even talks about it, as we have progressed so much between 1980 and today. So much of technology has come in, and every other woman, man, child, think of anybody, even a transgender, going around with a mobile telephone. That's the kind of technology which we have been able to develop on account of all these connections which we have developed. Now, connecting India via technology. We need to organize information, and it should be open to everybody, not just the government. So we need to computerize government systems and re-engineer all our processes. For example, we are trying to computerize courts, the legal courts all over. We have 72 million court cases pending, and it takes 15 years to get justice. Part of the problem is mainly information. You can't even find a file. There are rooms and rooms full of pending files, but this has to change. Though we need to computerize court cases, judges want to do it. They don't want to do it, some of them, because that involves change in computerization and computerization alone. Because that involves change, computerization of the police and prisons, of all these need to talk to each other. We have 10,000 software professionals working in the government, and we are going to be spending almost 100,000 crores on the computerization of information. This is innovation to transform our country. We have to focus on innovation, as I said earlier, and Government of India has taken a bold step in the present budget to make all of you as entrepreneurs, more like 100,000 crores have been earmarked. As I said, in our institutions and in the management of our institutions that will break hierarchies and bring young talent, this Masters in Business Administration will bring in a lot of changes if they choose to take up the jobs which are very, very important in various avenues of the government. And if the jobs are filled properly, you will be able to make a very, very large contribution towards achieving what shape of things to come. My dear friends, we believe if the time taken to provide justice can be reduced from 15 to 3 years, it will probably add 2% to our GDP. If the railways is modernized, until the railways change, that is another 1.5% will be added to our GDP. But it cannot be modernized overnight until the railways change in the way and restructured. For that, we need people who have the background of business management. Today we are more than, in the central ministry, 70 ministers were there. Fortunately, our Prime Minister has reduced the cabinet strength so that the message, what he wants to tell the people and what he wants to give it to people, is properly conveyed. How do we work as a state? We talk about central, where Mr. Anant Kumar will be sitting and giving directions. What about the state governments? What is the relationship between the state and the center as of today? I see huge opportunity for making processes and systems more transparent through democratization of information. Then you will be able to participate. How do we improve the system? Today, the young are basically locked out of the system. They are looking for answers, but who is giving it to them is the question mark. There is a need to restructure, innovate, and break existing barriers. But it is tough because nobody wants to change. Only Prime Minister Modi and his cabinet can change. That is what we believe in today. We have taken great pride in bringing the Western obsolete model when we brought that education pattern into our country. That needs to be changed. We have to introduce vocational education at whatever level it is desirable, so that a person can do what is required to be done. Even to mend small things at home, you need to have some kind of a training. How to hold a file, how to hold a hacksaw blade, how to hold a spanner, how to hold whatever you want. We are helpless. We have not been taught. When I went to school, way back 75 years ago, it was never even mentioned and talked. Today, at least people are bold enough to talk about it. But when are we going to bring these changes at the school level? Sir, Mr. Anant Kumar, the ball is in your court. Bring in changes so that our youngsters do learn what is required in this country. Innovation is required in governance. Mr. Modi said regarding governance, and I'm sure he is at it, healthy systems, education, infrastructure, that is where the challenges are. I see a huge opportunities, but people are tinkering with innovation in terms of other countries are doing. Our problems are different. A serious study has to be done by experts to find answers to very many problems which are existing in our country. It is not about creating new models. If help, don't get me wrong, but let's not get hung up on wrong things like innovation or education indexes. The government gives you a lot of figures. We don't know what is the right figure. I think we should put a stop to such studies which are becoming most irrelevant. Let us do things that needed to be done to build the new nation to which we have all voted. Our country is a complex country with multiple languages and requirements, but I think we are building a new nation. It is happening in a quiet way, and I am sure with the leadership what we have provided for, and it will take a speedier acquisition of knowledge, acquisition of new thinking, and implementation of new ways and means to help the country. In the present decade, the democratization of information is giving to use the tools, cloud computing, fiber optics, millions and millions of phones, smartphones, connectivity, and if a technology for democratizing information was done in 80s and 90s, it would not have worked. The web has changed. We are all aware of the web page. When language was created 15,000 years ago, it brought people together in smaller countries. Nothing like this happened for another 15,000 years until now. The web has brought the entire world community together. My dear friends, the magic of information technology has opened horizons and is given access to everything and to everyone. We need technocrats, business intelligence, the students like you who think of business and who think of business intelligence. Or I want to ask you, are we paying enough attention towards this end is my question. Institutions like yours and mine and many others, we have to think about it and start giving a shape to this new direction. In a blessed, with a population of present day youth, we have to harness in the right manner. We need youth of today who are well educated, like all of you are sitting here, and to help our country to become creative country. Then only we can become an innovative, also inventional. My dear young friends, the lessons you learn may be theoretical in the class, but their application in the proper manner will bring appreciable results. Qualified MBA graduates, like all of you, you are a scarce material, I would say, because you had the right opportunity at the right place to learn. How many institutions are equipped like what this institution is equipped? We have just seen what is being given to all of you at this institution. There are hundreds and thousands of colleges supposed to be teaching business management. You are fortunate ones to have learned all that plus something else by visiting many other countries, so you were exposed. I can only say this much to our students who have assembled here, and faculty must work in hand in hand Pool all your thinking, become innovative, and with your help, our country can be made a model for innovation as quickly as possible within the given time frame. I request each one of you to put in your effort and make our country a great country. Sir M. Vishwesvaraya once said, as I said earlier, industrialize or perish. I say now, invent or innovate or perish. Thank you so much.